the final tier list, the Schrift tier list for types will re-released. All right, we're gonna start off with Almighty. Almighty hasn't been shown yet, and no one has gotten it as far as I know. It's currently gonna be S plus. If there was a section, I'd put it higher, but I'm just gonna automatically rate it up there because it's gonna be super hard to get, so it's gonna probably be really broken. Onto the Mythics, we got Death Dealing. Death Dealing is one of my favorite Shrifts. It can work on basically anything. It's really good on Keto, good on Speed, good on Kendo. It might even be good on Ground Hakuta because of the gift bat on the floor would force them to be in your face for Ground Hakuta. The cool thing about this is that as a passive, every time you hit them with Gift Ball or Gift Bat, they will gain lethality. And once it hits a certain time, it'll hit them and do a decent bit of damage. The T move, you throw it out, it's a ball, it does high posture, auto tracks, and it is uncounterable, which is pretty nice. They're going to have to block or parry it. Pretty good pressure on them. You can just push with it, or just use it to get their posture up, so your moves will do more damage, and probably guard break them. G move, pretty self-explanatory. Death Field slows them down, can't flash step. A lot of moves don't work, like Flower Passage, you can't move in it. You want to use this and be super aggressive. You can use it defensively, you can also use it offensively on top of them, like walk up to them, or flash step behind them or near them, put it down, and then zone them. Once they're in here, go crazy. It's like Mortal Ties. This is when you want to get your most damage in. Definitely going to be... Honestly, I'm just going to put it A tier. It's pretty good, but it's not as oppressive as other ones. Because the T is pretty easy to pair, and the G move is fairly easy to get out of if you know how to use it. People can easily get out of it with Dropping Fang. They can easily get out of it with Time Cut. And yeah, there's a lot. You can even eviscerate out of it too, I believe. So it's gonna go A tier. Very good. All right, Balance, another one of my personal favorites. Unfortunately, it's been nerfed many times. I think this is before SD. They made Balance T no longer have hyper armor, which is huge nerf to it because it was known for its hyper armor, guard break, slash that was fast for combos, you know. And they also nerfed the stun because I don't know, it wasn't really true into anything. It was like semi-true into floating or rising immediately after the T if you get on top of them, but they could easily parry that. I don't know why they did that, but it's still a pretty decent move. You just don't have hyper armor. It gives order back, which is your passive, and once you get to 100 order, you can heal for a big amount with your G. The G is the big heal. You want to make sure you use this when you're not near them because they can easily cancel it. Or make sure they don't have like a keto move, because if they're fast enough to react, they can just stop and you waste your move, which is a big part of your kit, which is you heal around half a bar after all the nerfs, I believe. And if you want, you control and hold G down to do like 25 damage to everyone around you, which you should probably never do. Pretty good though. I'm honestly gonna put it. I'm gonna put it A tier. DD and Balance low key have kind of fallen off. They're still good, but they're no longer as like amazing as they used to be. Because like DD got a bunch of like CD cooldown increases, and they also decreased the walk speed nerf inside the Death Field. So it's they're kind of not in the best place, but they're still viable, like in my opinion. You can still use this on Speed, Kendo, even on Keto. It's really nice to have the T move for up close fights. And then you can use the heal whenever. You can get around 2 times if you keep hitting your T's and getting damage up. So I'm going to keep it an A for now. Alright, Zombie. Zombie is a pretty niche passive. Every time you get guard broken, you apply blood to them. They've got a little blood meter here. You can also get it up by hitting your T move, and I believe your G move as well. Once they're at 100% and you grip them, they'll turn into a zombie, which is basically like a higher health Kyoka clone. It's really niche though. You're probably never going to ever do this. Yeah. I think it gets buffed in like Bankai or Volt or whatever, so maybe it's viable then. But anyways, the T move, throw out a splash from your arms. This one guard breaks, it has pretty decent range, and it's a really nice move overall. It does decent damage, as we said earlier, increases the blood meter. G move, it's a counter, and if you hit it, increases the blood meter, like I said earlier. And it's almost true to a lot of moves, and it's pretty fast. It's a nice counter, and it can work on basically anything. Speed, Kendo, Keto, whatever, even Medic probably. This is just a pretty universal like moveset. Really good overall. Probably gonna put it, I think A. I think its counter got nerfed, so it's not true into anything anymore. So I'm gonna leave it at A for now. It's pretty good. Alright, Royal, easily S tier, and I'm playing. This is really bad. Do not use this. T and G both have hyper armor, but they also take 3 years to use your move. The windup is insane. The end lag is even crazier, so you're just gonna get punished for any move you do. T move is actually so bad that they don't even want to show it, which I think is fair. It is a downward strike, with your sword. I don't even think it does that much damage, to be honest. Both of these I think guard break, but they also suck because they take forever to do. So yeah, don't use Royal. Easy D tier. X-Axis, the only Shrift to probably compete with Royal for being the worst Shrift in the game. I'm just gonna say it's a sniper, really bad. You takes like a second to shoot a bullet. You don't want this ever. Yeah, I'm not gonna explain. Easy D tier. All right, Butterfly, a really underrated Shikai that I don't see much people using. I don't know if they've nerfed it, but the T move is pretty nice. Does pretty big AOE. Does not guard break, does high posture, and it also ragdolls him for a little bit, so you can kind of combo extend off that. The G move is really, really fast. I don't know if it's frame 1 anymore, but it used to be frame 1, and you can do it like off parry, or just like after an M1, and you just immediately throw them in the air, and they're stuck there. While they fall down, you can like extend into like another move, like Eviscerate on falling down, Fast Fang while you're falling, Floating Strikes while you're falling, Rising Swallow while you're falling, because they'll just fall right below you and be ragdolled for a fair bit. They might have patched or nerfed it a little bit, but it's still a really good move. Really good mix-up, really fast. So I'm probably going to put Butterfly in A as well. It's really viable on basically any build. Speed, Kendo, you could even do it on Hakata, because while you're in air, your G will be basically guaranteed to hit, as long as you like feint or like guard break them, and you can combo extend off that. Butterfly's just really nice overall. Alright, Explode. Explode actually is pretty cool. You jump up into the air, throw a T move. This ball guard breaks. It's not too hard to parry if you know the timing, but most people will probably just get hit by it. The ragdoll is long enough where you can combo extend. Like if you fall down here, you could do a fast bang, do a flash cut, any fast move real quick. Black Claw over there, Earth Shatter. You'll probably hit them. You can also fall, hit them with that, eviscerate towards them. It's a really, really amazing move. G move, pretty decent. I think it guard breaks, and it also throws them up into the air now. I think they made it get airtime, because I remember getting hit by this like in Hell, and the guy was putting me airborne, and he wasn't Hakata, so I guess it maintains airtime now, so you can get a parry check midair after to extend. Very decent Shrift, actually. Probably going to put it A tier as well. It's very consistent. Superstar was actually one of the only Shrifts to get buffed, in my opinion. The T move used to take really long, and it was pretty easy to parry and block, and now they actually decreased the windup, made it a little faster, but they also gave it less range. They decreased it by 10, and they also gave it more knockback, so it was a little harder to combo afterwards. You can still combo after it, combo extends definitely, but it will be like more, they'll have a chance to parry instead of it being like semi-true. So you can just feint, or just like use a crit that guard breaks and delay it a little bit, and pretty cool. G move, I think it stayed about the same. It's a guard break. In air though, while you're in Hakata, it'll guard break them and they'll stay like ragdoll in air, so you can combo extend. So this is really good for Hakata, especially air Hakata. And they also added a passive. It's not here, but I'll read it off to you. Added superstar passive, OK James. Hitting Shrift moves will summon James to cheer you once, increasing your damage and defense slightly, 4% for 6 seconds. If you aren't full HP, you'll also heal 2%. And it only works in Shrift, and it has a 3-second CD. It's actually pretty insane. Like, that's awesome. I'll have to try it out. I'm sure the superstar passive is probably broken. Honestly, I'm going to put Superstar in A. It might be S tier, because that 2% heal every time you hit a move with a 3-second cooldown is pretty broken. It might not work exactly like that. Maybe you have to land multiple moves, like maybe in a row, or like hit a couple of them before it procs, but it could definitely be S tier if that's the case. If just one time you hit it and then the little James guy shows up, that is broken. So I'll leave it A for now. When I try it out, it might change. Alright, Miracle. This is a very balanced Shrift in my opinion, because T move has pretty long windup. It's pretty easy to parry and block, but it's also not 360 blockable, so you can just play mind games with them, throw it behind them, and then if they're blocking facing you, you'll hit them, or if they know you always throw it behind them, you can throw it in front of them. So there's a lot of stuff you could do there, and it blinds them for a short duration, so you can kind of go for a combo. G move is really nice. It comes from the left, it guard breaks and ragdolls them. Sometimes the ragdoll puts them close enough to you so you can do an almost true combo, or a true combo in general. So it's pretty nice. Very, very good moves, honestly. But because the moves are pretty inconsistent, the T's pretty easy to parry. The G move, ragdoll, is kind of random. Like, even if you guard break them, you can't really capitalize off it most of the time. I'm going to put it in B tier. Okay, Glutton. Glutton is a pretty cool passive called Feast, where you get volt meter back, and you also get a percentage of your max HP back when you grip people. It's not too significant. It's kind of nice to have, so I guess that's there. The T move, you shoot a projectile pretty fast, does damage over time, and slightly heals you. The G move is a dash forward. It's going to bite. I believe it guard breaks, and if not, it does really high posture. Like they were like going on and off on whether or not they wanted to guard break or do high posture. I forget which one they ended up on. But the cool part about this, if you hit the T and then hit the G immediately afterwards, the T will instantly proc and do more damage, and your G will heal you for more and deal more damage, which is pretty cool. So pretty good, actually very good on speed kendo. Even Hakuda actually might be a lot better on Hakuda though, because mid-air you can throw the T at them, feint a couple times, you probably hit them with the G, and I hope the ragdoll doesn't throw them out of the combo, and if it doesn't, it's really nice. Actually, no, it doesn't throw them out of the ragdoll. They stay in air, and you can combo extend off that, so it's actually really good on Hakuda. I'm probably going to put it B tier though. It's a little inconsistent. The G move is fairly easy to parry. Like, look at this animation. You stand there for a second, and if they don't react and hold F, I don't know, to be honest. It can definitely work, but it's not as good as the others, to be honest. Okay, Visionary. This used to be insane on release. Like, the T had insane move stacks. The G move had crazy ragdoll. And after playing against it a couple times, I think it actually isn't too good now. The nerfs have made it so the T can't really move stack too often. And it's actually a pretty easy parry once you learn the timing. G move as well, it's pretty nice, but it also can't hit in front of you. So sometimes when you use this, if someone's trying to move towards you and you like aim too close to you, you'll do an animation, but nothing will come out. And then they can just punish you because you're standing there like a clown with your move, not doing any damage or moving towards them because you're in the sphere of being too close to you where it can't proc. So honestly, I'm going to move Visionary down to B. This is a really big fall off from what it used to be. You definitely make it work, but I just don't think it's that good anymore. Thunderbolt. It's a pretty cool shrift. It's got a passive where if you hit the T move, it'll tether them and make it so they can't flash step, which is pretty nice, and it'll set you up for your G move, where if they're tethered, it'll pull them in and ragdoll them, making it, what's it called? You can do true combo, just pull them in, floating strikes, swift slashes, all that cool stuff. But it is pretty inconsistent because the T move is pretty hard to land on a good player if they're smart. But I guess you can find ways to confirm it off other moves, like a guard break or just like a snipe, a really lucky snipe. Most people panic and they won't be able to parry the G, but it is fairly easy to do in my opinion. The G move on its own is really good though, because it guard breaks and ragdolls and has very decent range. So I'm probably going to put it B tier. It's definitely good. Actually, probably better than Visionary at this point. But yeah, really fun Volt or Shrift. Compulsory, a pretty hit or miss shrift. Actually, it's on the really bad end, but if you want, you can make it work. I've seen some pretty decent players on it. The T move did get buffed. It's not as slow anymore, and it goes further and a lot faster, so it's kind of cool. Has decent ragdoll when it pulls them in. I don't think it makes any true combos though. G move, pretty nice. I don't know if this guard breaks. It probably just does high posture. It says it ragdolls them, allowing for follow-ups, but you can see that there's no ragdoll here. They just get up immediately, and they can just parry or dodge. So, it's alright. Probably going to go C tier, maybe B tier, depending on how you play it, and if you're playing at someone who's not familiar with its combos or how it works. But there's definitely better options. Power. This is actually surprisingly good. It got nerfed a couple times, but the T is really nice, does pretty high posture, it does ragdoll a fair bit, so you can combo extend off that. The G move, pretty fast, has hyper armor, it's a guard break, and hits pretty far. You can kind of use this on anything, speed, kendo, I've seen it on Hakuda, even keto. Like, it's all around really good. Like, it's actually probably, it's really consistent, to be honest. I'm gonna put it high B tier, pushing A tier. It's a really good shrift in my opinion, actually. Do I put it A tier? Low-key might put it A tier. I'll leave it there for now though. Fear, another decent shrift, but it kind of is overshadowed by a ton of other ones because the T is pretty easy to see happening towards you. Easily just press F, or if you have a counter, that's a free counter right there. If they do end up getting hit by the T though, and they don't have an F key, you will be able to true combo into rising or floating. Still doesn't make it good though. The G move, impale, this one doesn't auto track, I don't think. You actually have to aim these ones. In Volt though, I think they auto track, but they're kind of bad, to be honest. Then I don't even think they don't guard break, I don't think. They just do high posture. So you can kind of make this work maybe on keto for just free pressure with the G and stack up posture, and then maybe go for the T and they can't parry it. You go for a guard break. But there's definitely better options out there. I'm going to put this C tier. It's very situational. All right, Nimble. This is probably one of the best shrifts in the game right now. It's really broken. Basically what it does, if you haven't seen it, the T move gives you enter a stance and you get 3 dodges. They last for around 5 seconds, which is pretty significant. You can put a lot of pressure on with that time, and it's 3 free auto dodges. Like, I don't know how you can't think that's good. If it was just that, I would think this is an amazing Shrift. But it gets even worse because the G move, it's a multi-hit like dash forwards, and because it's a multi-hit, you kind of have to parry multiple times. Unlike Fast Fang, where you parry once, you actually have to parry multiple times. So sometimes it's inconsistent parrying that move, and they can combo extend off it because it has a fair bit of stun. Definitely S tier, really broken. I'm gonna make a video on it. Oh yeah, for every single dodge you do, you gain more speed. So if you're on speed, you're gonna be insanely fast. I'm assuming they're probably gonna cap it or nerf it. So if you want to be super fast with speed, have a bunch of dodges, or really broken combo extend move, play Nimble. Alright, Heat. This is one of my favorite Shrifts because it does a ton of damage, has really long range, and it also has a guard break, like 360 move that's huge. The T move, it's like a Fingers Arrow, does decent damage, but if you hit it at max range, they're gonna kneel down for around a second, so you can true combo off that. G move, block breaks, does a ton of damage, and you can use this on anything, speed, kendo, probably not Haka. You maybe could use it on Haka actually. The G could be pretty good in air. It's decent on Keto, it's good on everything honestly. It's a perfect all-round, it's really high A tier. I can't put it S tier because it really isn't as broken as Nimble or the next one I'm going to show, Overkill, at the very end. Wind, probably one of my favorite Shrifts, really good on speed, and Kendo as well. You go in the air, it's going to stun them, and it also guard breaks, which is really nice. But what's good about the stun is it is almost true into a ton of moves. While you're falling, you can go T into G, that's going to be semi-true, T into floating, T into rising, T into like any kind of fast move. I usually just do T into rising though, or floating. G move as well, slash in front of you, it's going to give them a bunch of stun, and then it'll be semi-true into a bunch of moves. You can do G into T, T into G, G into floating, rising, Fast Fang, like, there's just so many things you could do with it. It's so fun. Definitely A tier though. Iron. This is a really decent Shrift. T does okay damage, but the bad thing about it is it has a ton of end lag, and for the damage, it's kind of hard to land consistently. Because most of the time they can just, I don't know if they can parry after the, I think you can parry the second and third one. It doesn't cancel though, so it's kind of weird. G move, really good. If you land this, you're going to be doing a true combo into floating or rising because how much ragdoll it has. But the hard part about this move is that when you dash or like move really suddenly, the hitbox will not follow you until like a second later. So if like I dashed forward, hit G on this guy, the hitbox would not be there until I stood completely still. So that really kills the Shrift. It's definitely good if you can land the G, but you have to be able to confirm the G to make it good, you know? You can't dodge behind somebody, hit the G, and then combo off it, because I told you the hitbox doesn't update. It really hurts the Shrift. I'll put it like high C tier, honestly. I'll put it B tier, actually. The G move is really nice, but it just sucks that the hitbox doesn't work half the time. Last, but definitely not least, is the Overkill Shrift. Basically, what you do is you get rid of all your moves, your TG, ZXE, and replace it with passive stats. Now, these passive stats can be enhanced by gripping players, and it caps out at around 200 grips where everything will be maxed. So Posture will be at 40%, Ray will be at 40%, Speed will be at 30%, damage will be at 35%. It says 50 here, but it got reduced, 20% defense, and all these moves will be randomized in order from T to G and Z, X, and C. Now, the way it works is the T and G will give 100% of the stat it shows. So, for example, Posture says 40%, it'll give you 40% if it's in T and G, like it's shown in the picture here. But if it was Z, X, or C, it would give half the stat. So, the best way to use this is you put damage and defense in T and G by rerolling and rerolling until you get it there. And the buff is genuinely insane. 35% extra damage and 20% extra defense. You will never be below 2 bars in a ranked match. You can check my last video where I played it. And even in that one, I didn't know about the ZXE being giving half stats. So now that I have TNG as damage and defense, it's even more broken. You can watch that if you want to see how broken it is, but it is without a doubt the best moveset in the game. And I easily hit leaderboard with it. So it's going S tier. None of these other Shrift can really compare. Maybe Nimble, but Overkill is definitely top notch, besides like Almighty, I guess. So this is probably where I'm going to end the tier list. It's pretty fair, I think. A lot of the move sets in A are viable, and it really comes down to preference at this point for A tier. S tier is going to be the best of the best, though. If you really want to metamance, hop on Nimble or Overkill. Overkill is actually probably the best move set in the entire game. Abuse it before they nerf it even more. And B, C, D, these ones are situational. B's you could get to work. C and D kind of aren't really worth using in my opinion, but definitely S tier best for ranked, and A tier is also very strong.